I think you might have heard sounds from my headphones. Sorry, my Billy is screaming. Ay, ay, ay. Hang on. Just give me 1 second. He's being a menace, and I don't appreciate it. Oh my god, why? He heard sounds from my headphones. Nothing happened. He heard the premiere countdown from YouTube in my headphones, and now he's screaming about it. So I'm not at the premiere live because it's here. It's spoilers. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. This dog. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. Hey, dog. You're fine! No, you're not looking out the window. That's just gonna make you bark more. You're fine. He was creaking the whole way back the hallway. And he tried to jump out of my arms like 3 times on the way back. He really wants to scream. Ay, 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 dog. Oi. Music, shut up. You're fine. There's no need. You heard my... I don't need these on. You heard my headphones. Okay. Anyway, let's watch a thing so you have... Context. So you have context. It's mom. You hear mom. You're fine. It's the mama. You're fine. Dog. Please. At least this is memorable. I don't want your tongue on my face. At least this is a memorable way for this to go. That's a way of looking at it, I guess. What was that face you just made, dog? Okay. Let's switch screens. Dog, please. Quit grumbling at me. You're fine. Okay, let's look at the said premiere, okay? I'll put it on full screen, and I'll play the premiere, and then we'll talk about it, because I have things to say. I don't know. Okay. No! Why? Big yawn. So cute. We don't need the... We don't need the whole countdown. Ugh, awful sound. Alright. I don't know how loud this is gonna be. Let me just make sure that audio is going through. Cool. Alright. Let me mute myself. Dog. R&R. Boxes. Patch. Sugar Sick Sunday. Wrong model. These 5 singles have something in common. Something pretty noteworthy, actually. Not only are they all taken from actual life experience, but they're all from my new, upcoming album. I'd like to announce Robots and Revenge. Valentine's 2024. Don't grumble at me, I'm just trying to use the mouse! I went to grab the mouse, he's like, no, no, you're gonna pet me. Please! You did make the track list thing. Don't look at me like that, you freako. You scare me. Why are you like this? I don't need these now. Can I have this? No. Thank you. Alright. So, album. Hi. I want to say a few things about the R&R album, just to repeat the info in it, because I guess it could be a little hard to understand. So, I have a new album coming out, Valentine's Day, Robots and Revenge. I'm super excited. Yeah, I have some thank yous. So a big thank you to Tumblewumble and Your Fellow Knight for lending their voices for a song, as well as Dylan, Mika. Why I started... I'm so sorry. This is going so well. You're so true. You're so right. He's trying so hard to look out the window without making it obvious. Anyway, as well as a thank you to Dylan, Mika, Alexia, and Alexis for lending their voices, as well as just generally supporting me throughout. I appreciate it so much. I don't think I would have gotten as far if it weren't for all of you. And of course, thank you to that one right there. For also just being there and supporting me on this. This, I think, was the first person that was like, you should make an album. So I did. Eventually I did. And of course, the visuals for the track list. Thank you so much. Inspirations. Let's put it on Spotify now. No, not yet. Billy, you're pressing buttons on my keyboard. Get your paw off of there. You don't know how to use that. He pressed the space bar. No, you're not a gamer. You can game later, okay, buddy? I want to do the stream first. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump that. You're okay. He plays Candy Crush sometimes, so it makes sense that he would be one to enjoy video games. He's looking at himself on the screen. That's what that is. He's looking at himself on the camera. Yeah, anyway. As for inspirations, Ashniko, Billie Eilish, And He Wants to Battle, Melanie Martinez were all huge inspirations for this. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to wait. This one already made me wait more than I wanted to. Let's talk about the album style and theme and whatnot. So, leaning into my style with this title, electronic drama, Robots and Revenge. Billy. Wait, with this... But that... I don't have any filler stuff to say. I just wanted to say the most important stuff, because I don't want to bore anyone. The song themselves feel bad making... Anyway. Okay. The songs themselves fit either into the robot part, being the storyline, or revenge, more accurately, moments of anger and despair throughout my life. And IRL, I'm not one to experience anger or sadness much at all. So it's very fun to bring that out in my music. Well, no, that's not going to be mentioned. That's going to have its own specific video. I'll let you out in a second, buddy. I'm afraid you're going to go scream, and I don't want you to do that. In the storyline, the themes of near death are representations of... Can I help you? Uh-huh. You didn't use the window. I'm sorry. You weren't using it. And then when you did, you went off to go scream. Ay, ay, ay. I'll open up after the stream. Oh, quit you crying. You're fine. Patience. Anyway. Billy, you're so dramatic. My stomach's screaming. In the storyline, the themes of near death are representative of the queer experience of just coming out and feeling like the world is ending for you, only for it to just end up being the start of a new chapter. Thank you for adding that, Billy. I appreciate it. Will you be good? I'll see if I can talk about some other stuff in a moment. Let me go let the dog out, because he's just gonna grumble at the door. Okay, Billy has been let out of my room, so hopefully he gets distracted and doesn't immediately go scream again, because that's not preferable. Hi, I mentioned you earlier. I said your name wrong, was the first thing I did. This has been a slight train wreck, but it's only fitting. Are there any questions or anything anyone here thinks I should mention about the album? I can go through the track list if that helps. There are... Okay. So the album is going to be a premiere event, just like the Apple Farm singles were. And it's going to be rated M because there are some mature themes throughout, but especially toward the end on Sugar Sex Sunday, there are very mature themes, definitely not meant for a younger audience. No, because I feel the same way. Rust, best song. No, wait, actually, copy-paste. No, actually... You're so right. Okay, so the track list is 0, which is track 1 is called 0. Track 2 is R&R. Track 3 is Boxes. Track 4 is Blueprint. Track 5 is Defect. 6 is Patch. 7 Reprogram. 8 Mechanic. 9 Wrong Model. 10 Cell. 11 Copy-Paste. 12 Stitched Together. 13 Sugar Sex Sunday. 14 Rust. 15 Power Down. And some of those will sound familiar. Because they are. Some of those were released as singles. Here's the first track. It's a pun on binary. Which, double meaning here. But, ones and zeros. Of course, you know, R&R, Boxes. 0 does not have any lyrics. It is just the intro track. There's nothing super interesting about it. It's well, there is something super interesting about it. It's the original version of Apple Farm. So, that's wild to think that's what that could have been. Blueprint and Defect are two sides of the same coin. Very similar song. Maybe. Very similar song to each other. in the same way that, like the inspirations for that one, Billie Eilish songs called Watch and Burn. And they're essentially the same song, but different styles. And I was like, you know what? That's kind of cool. I want to do that. Patch, you've seen that one. Reprogram, that's about wishing you could reprogram someone's brain because of the decisions they are making that maybe aren't the best for their well-being. So someone you care about who maybe isn't making great choices in some way. 8 is mechanic, the I can fix him mentality. Wrong models out. Cell, that one, that's one I've been meaning to make for years now. That one is essentially feeling like I've trapped myself with the content that I make. And of course, cell, double meaning in the whole robot theme. Copy paste, that's the whole how do I word that? Where you mimic someone else's behavior to get along with them better. Let's see. Stitched together. It's not super clear in the song, but with my intention for writing that one, it's about when you don't have closure on something and you just kind of have to stitch it together as best you can. Sugar Stick Sunday, you know that one. Rust is about, how do I say that without being hyper specific? Wishing you had treated someone better before they left your life in some way. And Power Down is, once again, inspired by a Billie Eilish song, Goodbye, where it says different lines from different songs of the album, but in this case, it says the titles of those songs instead. And I just think that's a really fun way to tie it all together, and it also sets up the storyline. It recaps the storyline that I had in mind, so if you're looking for storyline stuff, it happens in this one. And then it leads into the next project, which I will not talk about yet because it's a tad bit soon. So yeah, it's gonna be a minute before that. Goodbye end string. True. Do we have any questions before I go? Any questions, any comments, anything you think I should bring up? I'm thinking I will be doing a couple more streams kinda soon, just so I can continue the Behind the Music series, or Behind the Song, or whatever it is. Starting with R&R Unboxes. Just because those two are out, and it might be a while before I get to the rest of the songs until they're actually out. Talked about it while doing the entire album. Was there anything I said that you think is worth bringing up here? I need to work on I Wish Island. Anyway, but that's not about this. Ah, there she is. Really is multiplying. That's actually the next one I have to do. Can't tell? Fair enough. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything I haven't said yet. Yeah, no, it's not happening for a while, so I feel like I can safely say it now without it being too spoilery. Kind of like I did with the album a few times last year. I will say I do have more music planned. I have color schemes in mind. I have general storyline ideas in mind. I'm not going to be too much more specific than that because I don't want to spoil anything, because it's just a wait and see type situation. Let me tell you, it's going places. And it all is metaphorical. It all stands for stuff. The super secret project. Yes, yes, yes. This is what the super secret project was. The Robots and Revenge album. I don't think there's anything else that I really need to say yet, right? Let me see. Just double check. I have my whole original speech. Let me read through that, just see if there's anything interesting. The foreword of the album is, "This album is made up of little moments of frustration and despair. I'm not an angry person by any means, so it's fun to put on an angry mask and to talk about things that are genuinely upsetting to me." Thank you again to Alexis, Dylan, Alexia, Mika, Finn, Knight, and Tumble for their involvement, even if I was incredibly vague while asking some of them. One of the songs does say a word that could be interpreted as something offensive, but I'd like to clarify now that it isn't. The word is a pun on the term socioeconomics. So I want to get that out of the way now, just in case it happens to come up later. I talked about generally the overarching story. Oh yeah, the album cover, the robot head, that has a meaning. In the storyline, which you will see, so spoilers for the storyline. If you don't want to hear that, I guess click off now. But in the storyline, it's essentially this character breaking into a factory out of boredom because, like, this all represents stuff. I don't know if I should get into it right now or not. I'll probably get into it for the power down behind the music, but what was I saying? Oh, but a character breaks into a factory out of boredom and, long story short, finds this like seat with a screen that they press the screen, and they can't help but watch in horror as something comes down, and like it's this robot head that comes down, crushes onto their head, and then they're found and presumed dead, and they're completely paralyzed during their funeral and in their coffin. Yeah, that's the storyline. Like I said, it all stands for stuff. I'm just not gonna get into it right now. Let's see. The album is about my journey with identity, and the rest and relaxation part is because it's tired, boring. That's what the pun of the title is, R&R, Robots and Revenge, Rest and Relaxation. Tired of hiding a part of myself, forcing myself to stay at rest, just make other people comfortable, keeping them relaxed. And the robots are an analogy for coming out. Revenge is moving on and realizing there are people who I thought cared about me unconditionally but don't, and me quietly cutting them off. That's the metaphor there, I guess. I mean, it goes deeper than that, but again, we're just getting a brief idea of it. Constant theme of needing to fix oneself, as well as constant denial, and they are at odds with each other throughout the album, which fits the whole being newly out of the closet. There are some other stories that don't fully tie into the storyline at all, and more just fit the robotic factory analogy or the revenge theme, as I mentioned earlier. Back from the dead, so true. Again, Melanie was an inspiration. Melanie and Ashniko are probably the biggest inspirations for the storyline aspects of this, at least the first part of the trilogy. The first trilogy, rather. Worked on the entire project solo, aside from a few friends lending their voices, and another friend doing potential CD stuff as well as the track list visuals. It took a good few months to work on, and I hope it means something to anyone. It doesn't have to mean the same thing it means to me either, of course. I highly encourage you to make your own meaning, take from your own life experience and journey, and just see how it best reflects you. Oh yeah, I kind of just took a bunch of clanky loops and just threw them all together. I was like, you know what, that sounds to me like pipes in a basement that are malfunctioning. Oh, okay. So I do have something here that I am going to read word for word. A little note, if you're queer and it's not safe to come out, and you don't feel a need to come out, or you just don't want to, then don't. If you're queer and it's safe to come out and you want to, do it. There's no right time. If you're a young queer person and you feel like you'll never be out because of the people you live with, just know that that won't last forever. That's an absolute nightmare and is incredibly damaging, but maybe something you could use to, like, something you could use as like a glass half full thing is counting down to freedom as just a little bit of hope that someday you can leave and be happy. There are a lot of very loud people out there that hate us, want us gone, want us dead. They're not the majority. Even within that group of people, they're scared, uninformed. The unknown is the scariest thing to people, but do you know who there are more of? Tolerant people who only need to learn. Oh, that's so sweet, thank you. Accepting people who are willing to stand with us. And, of course, us, the queer folks in question. There's far more people out here who want all of us alive and able to exist as ourselves, and of the ones who aren't, there are a significant amount who are just scared and would be willing to change their stance upon being informed, and most importantly, seeing that queer people are just that, people. Not a scary threat, not predators, not people... Just people who are different than them and just want to exist. Yes, there are still a few very vocal groups of people out there that will still say and do awful things, but they're incredibly small. Is it still terrifying to walk around the same streets as them? Absolutely. It's fucking horrifying. But the thing that makes people reconsider everything is numbers, and we have those. We on our own are a small group of people, but with all the people who are willing to stand with us, we are perhaps just that little bit safer. It seems incredibly hopeless now, and it's hard not to be hopeless today, especially if you're visibly queer, or even more so, visibly genderqueer. I'm not someone who gets targeted with hate very often, despite being under the trans umbrella, and I'm very much cis-passing. And the fact that even I get to a point where I feel so incredibly hopeless for our community says a lot. I can't even imagine how other trans folks must be feeling, especially trans femme folks. I know I wrote a big long paragraph on why you should be hopeful, but it's hard to stay hopeful for us at the moment. It just feels like there's nothing we can do. I wish there was something more positive to end on, but there's not. It's incredibly scary right now. I guess I just want to be here to reason with those who can be reasoned with and show my understanding and mutual experience with those who this is affecting. Just know that I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm understanding. Yeah, I got my hair dyed to match the album again. I'm gonna try to get the blue to be a little more green, so it matches again, but this side's fine. But yeah, that's everything I wrote. Everything worth saying. I stuttered through it a little bit, but that's fine. Hang on. They're so R&R. Yeah, I can openly talk about R&R now. I'm so incredibly excited for it. That can go out of my ears. What is Rust about again? I said what it was generally about, but what it's more specifically about is, like, it's an incredibly specific experience. So, we had this dog named Rusty. He was... Oops, I switched accounts instead of going to... No, don't do that. Don't Sparky 6 volts at me. I want... Take me to my main account. I want to go to... Anyway, we had this dog named Rusty. He was super sweet, super good. Just best dog you could ever ask for. And I just didn't pay him much mind. I was not nearly as close to him as I am Billy. And meanwhile, Billy is an absolute menace. Rusty deserved so much better from me, and I only realized that after he had passed away. And I'm trying my best to just take that as continue to be good to Billy, but just generally in a more accessible way to word it. It's about wishing you had done something differently for someone who is no longer in your life. And then, meanwhile, the fact that you didn't, slowly having you rust away on the inside. It's a double meaning with the word rust, because rusty, rust. Let me see if there's any comments, because anyway, let's... Thank you. Robots. And Revenge premiere event. Yes. Okay, scheduled. So we're gonna set that as a premiere. I know it's far off, and people are going to hate that I did that. Countdown. Oh, I can only have it be... Can I say no countdown? I want no countdown. Dramatic. Sure. Trailer. Can I add... one... That's what, 24? Okay, yeah, no, I can't add shorts. That's so upsetting. Yes, I can. It's right there. What's it... Why is it lying to me? Oh, I can only add some shorts. That's... So... I guess it might just be too long? Weird. For people to watch after the... Okay. I can't just get rid of the countdown? That's so sad. Alright, well then we'll just have it be a minute countdown, as short as it can. Alright. Playlists. Upcoming premieres. Done. Save. Alright, how are we doing? Do we have any other questions or anything about the album? Anything you want to say? Anything you think is worth me mentioning? Alright, Robots and Revenge album. Swap that to be public. That way it automatically shows up when it can. Okay. Cool, so there's that all done. Needs to be on Spotify. I know. Actually, you know what? That can stay. Oops. Robots. And hang on. I'll just go to full screen so you can see what I'm doing. Robots and Revenge album. Announcement. I'm gonna do it eventually. But I can't promise how soon that'll be. My new... Oh, wait. Isn't this supposed to be the and sign? Yeah, sounds about right, honestly. It's supposed to be and, right? The and sign. And the trilogy's already gone. Oh, wait. Yeah, true. You're so right. Alright, I'll probably leave this stream public just because it is a promotional thing for my album, and I already know it's not going to get a lot of attention, so it can use all the help it could get. Switch to cam mode. Alright, any last minute things before I go here? I think I've said just about everything I need to. I am so incredibly excited for this, and I hope y'all are too. I hope you have a lovely day or night, or whatever is for you. Again, I hope you're excited. I am so much. I'm glad you are too. Goodbye. Have a good one. I don't... I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, fair enough. Hopefully those who haven't listened to it yet will enjoy it. Okay, goodbye. I missed